I hear this phrase. We've all heard it. Actually, I can't say I. We all hear it. And like I said, this might be quick, but I thought about it, and I don't know if I could really truly define it on the spot. But we always hear people say, as it relates to hip hop, especially older generation, will say the phrase "for the culture," right? I rarely hear
rather loosely.
Yeah. Like I rarely hear younger artists, mention anything about the culture. To me, it's always people that are on the older side of hip hop that mention the culture and preserving the culture and doing something for the culture. And this is a good album for the culture. Like I hear that a lot. But the reason I'm asking is what does that mean to you when you hear that, or you hear someone say, "Oh man, I'm doing it for the culture, man. We love the culture. It's for hip hop. It's for the culture." Like, does that mean something to you? Does it trigger something when you hear that? J Moore, I'll come to you first. Like, no. Is it misused?
Yeah, it's misused. A lot of times people be like, "Oh man, it's for the culture." That means they want me to do something for free or for discounted prices, and look. I'm not here for that. Like I have.
Oh, I know you collect them bags. I know.
I'm just saying. Like
I am the culture.
I don't.
So be for it.
I don't need. I don't need to do it. Hell, it'd be great exposure. I was like, Sprint don't take it. Exposure.
New exposure.
Yeah, it'll be good for your brand.
It'll be good for your brand. That's why you asked me to do this for you.
Talk to him.
Yeah. So no, when it's just one of those things. Like I just wish we could retire. Just like people saying no homo or pause. It's like because it's been so overused and just abused that there's no point in anybody saying it anymore.
Okay. I ain't mad at that. Jay Diff, what you think, man? The culture. I heard you say misused when I was doing the lead.
It's very misused. They use it in every aspect that they can. There's a lot of things that are done that should not be included or even spoken on within the same frame as the culture. If you don't know the culture, you shouldn't try to add anything to it or say that anything should be the culture. You also should probably know the definition of culture. And why it should be a part of the culture before trying to include something in it. Because it's very broad for one. You have cultural food, you have cultural dress, you have cultural slang. But everything does not necessarily represent one particular factor of said culture. So it's way overused in my personal opinion. That's all I have for it.
I can dig it. Lone, you got anything to add? They pretty much hit where I was going to go.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially the one about the free asking for in relation to the free services. Like that one right there is a.
Come on, do it for the.
That one is a big one, man.
That's the new. Hey man, let's do it. Do it for. It's for the church.
That one is frustrating. Like
I feel like that phrase in general shouldn't be something that is like suggested. Like if I do something for the culture, then I'm going to decide to do that. You know what I mean? Like if somebody mentions like, yeah, I'm doing this this festival or something, and and it's never existed before in the place where you're at, and you randomly go to sit to help people pick the artists, and get other people involved and stuff like that, and you volunteer to do some sound stuff because you want to see it happen, not because it's being imposed on you. And you're doing it for the culture, in my opinion. It's like the same. It's like the same thing. Well, it's what happened with Treese. When Treese came here, I was one of the people, one of the handful of people that was sitting on the initial, not even a board. It was just a bunch of people. You know, I got invited to it, and I was like, cool. These are my inputs. And they took it and ran with it. Shouts to Oreo Jones and all that. Everybody else that took it and turned it into what it was. Right.
Yeah.
But it's just sometimes it's not, it's like, I think Terry said, it's like not something to like really be spoken about a lot of times. It's something you do. It's something that's part of, it can be abused. And,
do you guys think, like you said, in terms of it not being necessarily being spoken on, is it to the point now where it's like clout? I'm just saying it just to be cool.
Technically, like if we're talking about something culturally affecting anybody as a whole, nobody knows that initially, so it's something that's just done, and then later on somebody coins it that this propelled the culture to this level.
Right.
It's not something that this particular person is, oh, this is for the culture. That's almost is narcissistic in a point of view. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're saying that you're so much better than everybody else that what you're doing is for the culture,
Right.
and everybody else is doing it just to be doing it.
Yeah, I view it very similar to that. I view it like I saw a long time ago somebody said that nobody, geniuses are given that title by their peers.
Right.
Yes.
You can't self-proclaim to be a genius, and I look at it the same way.
We have a lot of people in
I know,
this era just, oh, I'm a genius.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
like-
God! Don't get me started.
That's like saying I'm so humble.
Yeah, right. But so that's I look at it very similar to that too.
Mhm.
So I don't know, man. I don't know if I pay attention to it or if I don't pay attention at this point. Like
Yeah.
it's just if you're a part of things and you're doing things and and people recognize or they don't recognize, and then you just kind of keep it moving. I think there's a time and place for doing things for the culture, and there's a time and place for supporting those that do things in the culture.
Mm.
And so like, you have to respect people's times if you know that they're a part of it and they put out that good light, so pay the people.
I love your example of how you talked about trees. You know what I'm saying? And how they came to you and asked you about that, blossomed. I like how he
I was just a small part of it. I didn't have really anything. I mean, I was there,
yeah.
and it's just,
But trees would be something that I would be like, to me now, after it's been, obviously COVID or whatever, but to me, that's something that I could look at and be like, yo, that was dope for the culture. Like, easily, because I've always had a good time at trees. And we got a chance to watch it grow. And
But you have to realize why that made such an impact for the culture. It was based on everybody's individual unique experience and preparing and hopefully being selected for this show that a national artist or two are going to headline, and being a part of that camaraderie and that energy that was trees. That in itself is what made the culture, so to speak.
Right.
It wasn't just somebody saying that I'm doing it for the culture. People collectively made that a culture. You know what I'm saying?
And that first one, you got to understand, there was no national headline.
at all.
I remember there wasn't one. I remember going on all the local news sites the next day to see if there was any coverage. There wasn't one reporter that came out. Nobody. Like, I guarantee if something bad would have happened, the news would have been there
all
already.
over it.
But
It'd been all over it.
because it was a positive vibe and hip hop, and it was all Indiana representing.
yeah,
I feel, I mean, it flourished into something, and I'm glad it did, because that next year, all the news story, wanted to know what this trees thing was
and
about.
fast forward to the last one.
Yeah, and then we have
Pre-COVID.
we wound up having 𝗃𝗓𝗄 𝗂𝐻𝐿
Griselda.
and the Griselda, so I mean, that's what the culture is when you can take something that is literally an idea
Yep.
to something that is, and we didn't have to sell out in any way. I hate using that word, but
No, I know what you mean though.
but we
Yeah,
didn't
know
have
what
to
you
be
mean.
like, okay, we got Iggy Azalea, y'all, and I'm not to pick on her, but like that's just the first kind of name I could
it's kind of relevant.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. I know exactly.
You know,
exactly what
because
you're
like
saying.
we didn't try to. No, there was nothing about having 𝗃𝗓𝗄 𝗂𝐻𝐿 and Griselda that would have.
Tall black guy too.
Yep, shout out to the homie. Yep.
All those people appealed to people who are fans of hip hop. We didn't try to reach outside and say, "Hey, you guys would here come over to this. You wouldn't be interested in anything else we're doing, but hey, there's this one person over here, and maybe we'll get your attention and your dollars too." It's like no, it was kept in the realm of hip hop for hip hop.
I'm with
and if you're going to do something for the culture, do it that way.
That's a good place to end it. I'm with you there. And hopefully we can we'll keep going. Okay, cool. Sorry, Red August. But I'll keep looking at you as and it's him now.
It's like right around that time, but I think we're a little short.
I was a little short. Well, anyway, back to what we was talking about with trees.
Hey,
now you gonna stop me. Anyway, like I was saying with trees.
That just happened.
Huh?
It happened again.
I'm just saying, y'all keep cutting me off. Like I was saying with trees, I think the point that you made with that is perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's perfect, especially with the coverage and everything, and Griselda and how it grew. What? Why do y'all keep cutting me?
We're just
That
trolling.
didn't cut you off, man. We're just playing your
Red
game.
August, do
We're playing your game.
Red August, do we have
And he
enough
doesn't-
time now?
He doesn't know how to
Okay,
respond to
baby.
his game being played on him.
Red August, do we have enough time now?
How about that?
If you've enjoyed this segment of the New Old Heads podcast, make sure you join our live show every Tuesday from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/newoldheads. You can also catch playback of all of our shows on any podcast app and youtube.com/newoldheadsnetwork. And go to newoldheads.com/community to join our Discord.